What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a quick little video for you. I'm going to talk about the new exhaust I just put on my F150. For those of you that are new to this channel, I drive a 2013 F150 FX4. It's got the 5-liter Coyote V8 in it. And for an exhaust, I went with the Magnaflow dual exit. It exits on the passenger side of the truck right before the rear tire. And I am going to talk a little bit about why I picked this kit, but first I'm going to give you a quick little before and after clip, because I know realistically that's what most of you guys came here for. Guys, I went with this kit because, well, number one, I really like the way the dual side exit looks before the rear tire. I had thought about going maybe more the Corsa route with the dual side exit behind the rear tire, but ultimately I really like the look of the exit before the rear tire. Kind of gives it that Ford Lightning look, if you guys remember those trucks. And two, I was looking for something a little more kind of tame. Now, Magnaflow does make some really loud exhaust, and I will say this exhaust is a little louder than I expected it to be. However, on the grand scheme of things, it's still a pretty moderate sound. Now, I used to be all about putting the loudest exhaust I could find on my cars, but now that I live in a little bit quieter neighborhood, I've got a family and little kids and stuff like that, I'm basically at a point in my life where I'm trying to be a little more respectful to my neighbors. Now, I also ran into some issues when putting this kit on my truck. Overall, it's fairly simple. I will say I wasn't a huge fan of the instructions it came with. As you can see, this is just a simple, one-page instructions. It is a little dirty, so I apologize about that. Realistically, this sheet only has 4 different steps on it. So you'd think it's pretty simple, but I did run into a couple of issues. Now, I will admit, I'm not blaming that all on Magnaflow. Some of the issues are definitely my own fault for not really understanding what I was trying to do and what the instructions were talking about. So definitely anytime you install something on your car, read the instructions carefully several times. But I'll also say it would be nice, you're paying $800-900 for an exhaust kit to get more than just a single page list of instructions with one tiny little black and white picture. That's just my personal opinion. So what issues did I run into? So I think there was 2 main things. The exhaust, it comes with an extra exhaust hanger that you'll add on to the frame. It bolts into an existing hole that's already there. It's a threaded exhaust hanger. I believe it has, I think it's like a 7/16 thread, which was kind of an odd size. And it comes with these little lock washers or lock nuts on it. And basically these nuts, one goes on each side and kind of locks into each side of the frame. Now, the issue that I had with that was a different step. Basically where your stock catback, if you will, meets up to your catalytic converter pipes. The instructions call for you to reuse the stock nuts that came off that piece. Now, unfortunately, I threw those pieces away before I could get some shots of it. But those nuts didn't come off those pipes. They were welded onto the flanges. Now, I could be wrong. They were a little rusty. Maybe they were just jammed on there, but I hit them with a hammer a few times. I tried putting some spray lube on them, and as far as I can tell, those were not designed to come off. Now, the bolts itself were fine, and the mistake I ran into, I was kind of at a point, like I had taken the exhaust completely off my truck. I had to hack up the stock exhaust a bit just to get it off. And now I had no exhaust on my truck, but I also couldn't bolt the new one on. The second mistake I made was thinking that these little nuts that came supplied with the kit for the exhaust hanger, I thought they could be used for these factory bolts as well. They seemed very similar threads. I think these are more of a 3/4 thread, so they're very similar size. These nuts did go on, but ultimately they just cross-threaded the bolts. It was on loosely. I was only able to put the first section of pipe on until I was able to go to the hardware store, get some new hardware like this. Bought a bunch of different kinds, 3/4 bolts. I think I found a couple things that were 7/16. Actually, I bought a couple 7/16 bolts so I could still attach that exhaust hanger that came with it, because I'd already kind of tore these up. We'll have to tap them out to see if I can fix them. But that's where I was ultimately kind of let down by the instructions, because one, those factory bolts did not come off, and I'm 90% sure they're not designed to. And had they just included 2 extra bolts in the kit, I would have ran into 0 issues with this install. So really, I mean, that's the only fault I can give this kit so far. I love it. I love the way it looks. I love the way it sounds. It doesn't drone crazy on the highway or anything like that. Guys, ultimately, that's going to wrap up this video. I wanted to keep it simple and quick. And real quick, question of the day. Do you guys think I picked the right exhaust for my truck? Let me know in the comments how you like this exhaust and maybe what you would have picked instead. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. See you guys in the next one. Y'all take care.